Thank you, Mr. Chair, and let me also thank the witnesses for their presence here today, and certainly Mrs. Marion Wright Edelman for your long-standing work in this area. Let me also note, of course, as Mrs. Edelman knows, that her older brother was my pastor for 21 years at the Cornerstone Baptist Church, and please send him my best regards, and I'm certainly blessed to have him as my spiritual leader for 2 decades at a formative point in my life. I wanted to ask Mr. Woodson a few questions related to this issue of employment and education and the intersection between them. But let me first start by asking about your own programs. I assume, in your view, you run an effective anti-poverty program, correct?
Yes.
And as it relates to this effective program that you're running, 75% of the funding comes from the government, true?
It comes from not the federal government. It comes from contract with a Milwaukee school system.
It comes from public funds, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, your ability to deliver this effective programming that you indicated you deliver, and I have no reason to doubt that, would be adversely impacted if these public funds were dramatically cut or eliminated, true?
It would, unless the standards that in other words, the standards that we comply with, we save more money as a result of the funds we have than that it cost us. So we have a return on investment formula is the reason why the Milwaukee school system funded us for 3 to 4 years and continues, because they know that because the violence is down and all that. I'm just saying, but there's a return on that investment, so the standard.
Reclaiming my time, I have no reason to doubt that this is not a good investment. But any organization, I'm just asking the question, if 75% of your funding was eliminated, wouldn't that harm the ability of you to run the effective programs?
Absolutely.
Okay. So resources matter, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, the best anti-poverty program is a job. I think that's pretty bipartisan sentiment that has been expressed here today. Would you share that view?
Yes.
Okay. There's a chart that I wanted to take a brief look at. This chart indicates, if you would take a look at it, if you don't mind, this chart indicates that the median weekly earnings for someone with less than a high school diploma is $472 per week. Is that correct?
Yep.
And for someone with a high school diploma or GED, the median weekly earnings is $651, true? Now, for someone with a college degree, the median weekly earnings is $1,108, correct?
Yep.
So clearly, one's ability to secure a good job is directly related to their ability to be successful in terms of their education, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, our distinguished chairman, and I do applaud him for holding this hearing and for his good faith in tackling this issue, but he's often made the observation that we don't want to turn the safety net into a hammock that lulls people into complacency. Now, do you think that access to an affordable college education, for instance, is a hammock?
No.
Or is it an effective ladder to upward mobility?
Access, sure.
Okay. Now, we recently considered a budget that cut spending on higher education by $260 billion. And that would disproportionately and adversely affect the ability of low-income students to pursue a college degree. Do you think that a budget that cuts higher education spending by $260 billion is an effective way to combat poverty?
Well, first of all, I think that the cost of college is being driven by the availability of these funds, and so that you're seeing some inflation on the part of the institutions. But achievement for kids in education.
Reclaiming my time is a $260 billion cut to the ability of young Americans and low-income students to pursue a college education and get access to a
Time.
job and effective
Time for gentleman's
anti-poverty programs.
expired. Ms. Black.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I'm just delighted that the chairman has